Courtney, shooting threes a lot better than last season. What is something changed? Did you put in a lot of work? Any kind of technique thing? Or
Um, I just felt like I shot a lot of threes over the summertime. Became more disciplined with my shot and trying to shoot the same shot every time. Just making sure I get good shots too. I think it starts with that. Just making sure I take the right shots.
thank you.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, obviously y'all had a little bit longer of a layoff than you expected with that Baylor game getting canceled. What were the days like after that? And do you guys feel like maybe you were a little bit more rejuvenated than you would have been not having that game on Sunday?
I mean, we all was prepared for that game. We knew how big that game was and how much it could have helped our season. But we had to quickly just forget about the game and just prepare for St. Houston State, which was a good test for us. You know what I'm saying? I think we did a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things that we can go back and watch on film.
You know, there was a little stretch in the first half where Andrew was really kind of cooking. He had a couple buckets, set you up for a three. How important is it to get him going, especially with conference play coming up?
Andrew's a great player. You know, once he comes into his own, it's just gonna make our team even much better. So we're just gonna keep putting him in positions to be great, and he's gonna come around because he's a great player.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, I actually wanted to ask you about Donovan. The way he's battled back from injury, to see him looking kind of normal out there tonight, you know, baseline jumper, running, cutting, doing all those things. How good is it to have him back? It appears to be full speed.
I mean, we see it in practice every day. It's just, I think the biggest thing is just confidence and just believing in himself because people believe in him. It was just good tonight just to see him be himself. We just want to keep letting him grow. He just walked in the room right now, so I don't want to say too many bad things about him. No, I'm playing. But no, it was just good to see him going. You know, he's gonna stay on him and just hope he gets better.
What's the best thing you could say about him, or the worst?
Best thing I can say about him, he's a very confident kid. He has good hair. He has a bad smell though.
Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, what do you guys have to do to get Jericho going? He got a couple of looks tonight, but he still hasn't really found that stroke that we saw at the end of last season. And I know you're one of those guys that's always in his face, trying to motivate him. What do you have to do to get him going for conference?
Like first, it starts with yourself. You have to want to get yourself going. Then he just has to talk to us and just tell us to put him in the right positions. And then it starts with me being a point guard, being a leader. I have to put him in the right positions where he can be himself. And I mean, he's gonna get going. You know what I'm saying? We're not really worried about it. We know conference is coming around, and we expect him to be his best during that time.
And what did you guys learn about yourselves in this non-conference season and with those quality wins? And how confident are you going in to a tough stretch? You got Oklahoma State and Kansas in two of the next three games.
I just found out that we can win any game. We beat ourselves. We found out in the Villanova game that we can beat ourselves also. So that's something that we have to grow from. But we're a very mature team. We a deep team. So we can play 13 people at a time. But it's going to be fun to see how much we keep growing. And then it's going to be a good test Sunday against Oklahoma State.
Got two last ones, Jeff and then Dustin.
Hey, Courtney, you talked about getting a test tonight. How was it for you guys as guards going against a team that trapped a lot on the wings and really, especially in the first half, forced you guys to really move the ball and make sure it didn't stick?
Kind of helped us. The ball wasn't stagnant, so it allowed us to play with pace. You know what I'm saying? They had a game plan, and most times you have to react to the other team's game plan because you don't know what they're doing. So I think we did a good job of just reacting to it, and then we made shots today. That's the biggest thing. We made more shots than them.
Last one, Dustin, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, that first play of the game, you hit Matt on a backdoor cut down the baseline. Was that something different y'all did on offense? And what's kind of the next step for you guys offensively that you think? I mean, is there one thing that when you kind of think about the way you guys played offense tonight, you're like, we've got to get better at this. This is kind of our next level?
We worked on it in practice. We know they're an aggressive team, so we wanted to see if the pass was there. And it was, so he made a great layup. And the biggest thing that we can work on is just the turnovers and then just making sure we move the ball doesn't get stagnant at times. And we will get better at that because we all want to win and we all want each other to play well. So that's the biggest thing that we have to watch on film, and that's correct. And it started with me and Matt just being the leaders of the team.
Hey, Donovan, one of the images that still stick in my head is you trying to go last year in Lubbock and you just couldn't when your knee gave out. How long has the road been back for you to get back to where you want to be?
Surgery was March 11th. So ever since then, it's been since then until now. I think going back all the way back into March, going even back into last season, I just wasn't 100%. But giving, like Coach Smart says a lot, just giving 100% of what I got every time. So I think once I finally got to that point where I needed to have surgery, um, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, a little bit. It gave me time to rest, heal up, really get myself into a position to where I can be 100% healthy, and really put me in a better position to help the team.
Do you think the pandemic, in terms of and kind of an extra layoff, was that a more of a help?
Absolutely. I think in under normal circumstances, I kind of even talking to the doctors under normal circumstances, I would have probably come back a lot faster than I would have now. The process, just because of that process of rehab and recovery and getting back to working out. If it was just a normal year, it probably would have been rushed a little bit with the details. So I think the pandemic, like I said, was just a blessing in disguise. It gave me time to go home, really just not focus on any basketball, any getting ready for a new season. It was all just work on me and my body and getting me as ready to play as I possibly can. Because as we were going through the pandemic, we didn't know when that time was. So for me, every day was just, get at least 1% better every day.
Donovan, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this something that went back to high school a little bit, that you've kind of had a little bit of a knee issue in that knee?
Definitely coming in as a freshman, I definitely had issues with my knee. I had two injuries that kept me out my junior and senior year in high school. So once I got here, I kind of was ready to get here just to get the collegiate level treatment and get all the things that I was told that I was going to get coming into college. So for me, having these, growing a lot, being a thin kind of guy, they've always bothered me. So I can honestly say, like, now I'm probably in some of the best shape that I've been like ever since probably about ninth grade.
And sometimes, that kind of layoff allows guys to look at the game differently, or maybe focus on some different areas of their development. Was there any one thing that you tried to focus on while you were out, and maybe a skill work thing? And, did that kind of allow you to explore more of the game mentally?
Absolutely. Once I got injured, going through the process of working out, I think the mental game is what I took most. I became a student of the game. During the pandemic, I just sit and I'd watch Kobe detail videos. I watch YouTube highlights. I talk with my dad. I talk with coach. So for me, athleticism was always my thing, coming in, being athletic, being a spark. But now that gave me an opportunity to really, even now, just being more of a solid guy. Coming in last year, I think a lot of times, I was just looking to score offensively because that's kind of how I was bred. But I think now, being injured and having time to rest and recuperate and really go through that pandemic, like I said, I just became a student of the game. I wanted to grow my IQ so that, on the off chance that I don't, get back to how athletic I was in the past, I can still make a contribution. I can still be that same player that I want to be. I can still achieve all those goals that I want to achieve. Even if I'm not even right now, even if I'm not as athletic and explosive as I want to be, I can still impact the game just with my mind and just with my ability to read the defense, read the offense, and just make plays.
Brian, go ahead.
Donovan, just to understand, do you have any did they put any metal in your leg? Like, you have any screws or anything like that?
Yeah, I have 4 screws into my kneecap.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
And it's is it left or right?
It's my left knee.
Left knee. Okay. Some of the moves you were making tonight were things that I think that you have always wanted to do. Mid-range jumper, that baseline. You use your elbow to clear that guy off. Just having a normal night. How does that feel that you could get out there and just contribute like you're saying, and you're probably not even thinking about anything with your knee?
It's a blessing. Like I said, going through and working out, especially once I got back here in the summer, I didn't get away from it, but like I said, I focused more on, my skills. So getting it to, like you said, that mid-range shot that I shot going baseline, I've been working on that since March. Since I've been injured, I've been working on things, like I said, not having my athleticism to go off and explode off one foot like I That used to be my tendency. So now it's getting the two, making the right read, making the right play, making the easy jump shot, and just finding ways to still be effective offensively and defensively without having that burst of explosion. But don't get me wrong, I'm getting it back for sure.